First off, congratulations on an accepted offer on your home. I hope you're as excited as us to get you through this first big step of the selling process. I want to take the time and this opportunity to introduce myself if you don't already know me. My name is Carly Ray, and I am the owner and team lead of Realtor Group. I've compiled an assortment of videos to keep you in the loop throughout the selling process so you know exactly what's going on from opening of escrow to signing those closing paperwork and reaching the final chapter in your current home or whatever that next step may be for you. Some housekeeping as we get started on our journey together. Our team almost always works in twos or threes. If I am not your lead listing agent, you'll be having one of our team listing specialists as your guide, me working alongside you, and Maria, our closing coordinator, or we like to call her your transaction manager. As a seller, most of your communication will come from your team listing specialist for the day-to-day needs throughout the selling process. Think of myself as a second set of eyes or a soundboard for any of your needs, or of course, if I'm handling a transaction, you'll be hearing from me regularly. Maria is the person behind the scenes who will be keeping your timelines and contingency deadlines up to date, as well as gathering all the necessary signatures on required docs for closing when the time comes. Her main job is crossing T's, dotting those I's, and making sure your paperwork is completed on time and your closing is as seamless as possible. First order of business now that we have opened escrow is you'll be getting a welcome email from Maria with your fully executed contract and details on who your title company is, as well as who your escrow officer will be who's handling your transaction. She will also be sending you a list of required Nevada law disclosures that we will need to have signed, so please be checking your emails regularly. We will keep in touch if there's anything we've sent that we still need assistance or your signature on. These first few days are going to be super busy. A lot of digital signings, emails, and scheduling. It may seem overwhelming, but I promise it'll cool down as we get through these first few opening procedures. Your buyer, however, will be working on getting their earnest money deposit wired within the time we discussed on the purchase agreement. Remember, the earnest money deposit is the good faith money from the buyer to show you that they are serious about buying the home. Should the buyer cancel for any reason within their protected contingency period laid out in the residential purchase agreement, they are entitled to a full refund. Should they cancel outside the protected contingency period, the earnest money deposit is subject to be used as damages to the seller, but would still need to be agreed upon by both parties before it was released by the title company to you, the seller. Next, your selling specialist will be reaching out to you to confirm all the utilities on the property are on so that they may coordinate a time and date with the buyer's agent and the buyer so they can have their home inspection completed by a licensed home inspector. We encourage the house to be prepped and ready for their arrival and ask you to step out during this time. Depending on the size of the home or if you have a pool or not, this process could take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. So be sure to coordinate with you on a time that works best. Lastly, if you have not done so already, we will need you to complete the seller's real property disclosure form that goes over the ins and outs of your knowledge on the property since you have lived in the property and or you have been the owner. The yes on that form is asking if there are current issues on the home. The no is asking that there are no active issues. Any would be as if it doesn't apply or if you don't have that feature in your home. Often missed marks on this form is at the top, there's going to be a section asking what type of a seller you are, if you live inside an HOA or not, and if you have any shared common walls with neighbors, which most of us do. The blank option on page 3 is for explanation. So if you do live in an HOA, please provide the name of the HOA or the names if you have more than one, the monthly cost that's associated with each. Please give me details on anything as far as updates, replacements to equipment, appliances, or if you've done any updating or repairs to the home since living in it. If you have filed an insurance claim that required work to be done, we would also want that to be provided in there. The more information, the better. Should you ever lie about anything on the home that could result in the buyer finding out, you could be sued for 3 times the damage after the fact. So don't be scared. Just give me all the information and we'll be just fine. If you have receipts or warranty from any work done or purchases, please email them back to Maria and your listing specialist ASAP. Again, congratulations on an accepted offer and keep a lookout for our next video on your next selling process.